What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm according to Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion Pius Inelo Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus. And oh my gosh, a whole lot of slobber knocking going to be happening because Tom Aspinall is fighting Marcin Tybura, the Tybura.
Mm-hmm.
Holy,
Mm-hmm.
those are some big, sweaty, meaty men that are gonna, slobber knock the shit out of each other. My goodness, my God, this is gonna be a slobber knocker, in the words of the great Jim Ross. But Voodoo, what's going on, bro?
Oh man, it's very good to be back on this Thursday night, rocking this new fight night. It's good to see Aspinall back, man, coming back from that knee injury. How about that?
Yeah, man, it's wild, right? Because he doesn't give you kind of Frank Mir vibes.
A Frank Mir with that's light on his feet. Yes, he does give me the Frank Mir vibe because he boxes very well like Frank.
Yeah, but I mean, just in terms of physical, like he's like an English Frank Mir, right down to the fucking haircut, the weird kind of sideshow Bob ass fade that he's got.
Yeah,
Yep.
Only this guy is much more agile and mobile, and a whole lot more hostile.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, that's I guess the evolution of fight, right?
That's right.
This is the votary of one Frank Shamrock and Baz Rutten, that mix shit up, like a fucking Yahtzee, you fucking roll the dice in the fucking bag and you throw that some bitch out there and you hope for the best.
That's right.
Yeah, this is the time we're living in, So man, I'm excited. So what we got on tap for the first fucking fight?
Well, the first fucking fight.
That needs to be a t-shirt.
The first fight, it's in the flyweight division. We have Jafil Filho of Brazil versus Daniel Barriz. Barriz seems to be a Spaniard. Where is he from? Yeah, he's from Spain. 5'6", little fella. He's coming from UWC. He's currently on a 4-5 win streak, and this will be his first fight in the UFC. He's going up against Jafil Filho, Pastor, 5'7", not much there. He's already been in the UFC. He lost to Mohamed Mokaev by rear naked choke. So, he needs a win. The other fella needs a win as well. And I don't really have any dog in this particular race, Mr. Woods. And the records is for Jafir is 14-3, and for Daniel is 16-5. I'll split you on this, man. You go ahead and take your pick.
So which one did you have?
I'll pick Jafil just because he's Brazilian. One, he's ranked in the world, while the other fella is a number 3 flyweight in the United States. Not the world, but the United States. So I'm going with Jafil Filho.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
just like victory.
Just like you said, we'll do 50-50 on this one. Don't know too much about either combatant, but this is a time for them to prove themselves. And I mean, as we go through this card, you're gonna see a lot of the people that debuted, when we started doing this show, over 2 years ago. They are now in semi-main, if not main event. Aspinall and Tybura for sure. I mean, Tybura had been there, but Aspinall is one of those guys who, we're like, this guy's a blue chip prospect, but this baby cub is growing into his big bear body and skill.
Fight Island is popping right now. All those folks that were in Fight Island, they're out there doing big things right now.
Absolutely, and it's funny because they're going back to Fight Island, not too long from now. So there's that. And MMA On Point has a great video that I saw today where they were basically talking about like the top 10 most gimmicky ass shit that the UFC has done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, of course, like like oh, it's a competitive sport, but like James Toney and CM Punk, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the shit that Buffer has to say, like, oh, and here's the main
Mm-hmm.
event, brought to you by Rhino Dick Fuel. You make your dick feel like a rhino. Rhino Dick Fuel. And now, yeah. So you know. So I mean that was it, but definitely, Fight Island was on that list because oh, we're gonna put shit on the sand and whatever, and it's gonna be crazy, and
Palm
none of it
trees.
happened. None of it happened. It looked just the same as every goddamn arena, you know, anywhere that the UFC has played. So yeah, so there's that. And oops, the good sister here, Takia. Hi, how are you? Glad to have you with us, obviously.
That's right.
And sorry I can't
Pow.
make it so late. I was like a whole kind of pantheon of verbal diarrhea to Voodoo Maximus, and I just hit him with it. I just hit him with it. So my bad, but thank you for joining us. So yeah, what we got on fight number 2?
Fight number 2 takes us into the strawweight division.
Oh shit.
Versus Shauna Bannon from Ireland. This Shauna Bannon is 5-0. Mama B is her name, her nickname. She very good, not bad. 4 losses in the amateurs, three losses in the amateur, not bad. Mostly wins, She's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. She's on a 9-fight win streak, pretty much, including her last 5 in the amateurs. But Cage Legacy has been her home. She's been to Invicta, and now she makes a UFC debut against Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil is the special one. The special one. 5'6", special one. Bruna is coming off a loss, right hook to ground and pound against Denise Gomez. She came in from the Contender Series in which she won by head kick. Before that, she was in the LFA. I think this is going to be a good fight simply because the Irish, she's going to have very good boxing. The Irish are always known for boxing, but this Irish girl, also Shauna Bannon, also has very good grappling. So she's a complete fighter. This is a tale of two complete fighters. Unfortunately for Shannon, the Bruna is not going to be a walkover. It's going to be a tough match, but I still believe that they are pushing for Shauna Bannon to win this match. So she is undefeated. You know how we feel about undefeated, Mr. Woods. So I'm gonna go on a limb, even though Bruna is ranked number 40 in the world. Shauna is number 89 pound for pound in the UK and Ireland. I don't know if she's seen the type of competition that's on the world stage, right? But she's still undefeated. So I don't know. What say you, Mr. Woods?
So this might be Shauna Bannon's UFC debut, right? But
Yeah.
this is not the first time we've talked about her on this show. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like either she was, it was one of the weeks that there wasn't a UFC, but we still wanted to hang out here,
Mm-hmm.
and we covered
Mm-hmm.
like an LFA because we talked about one of her fights before,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. Maybe it was a legacy, LFA fight. I feel like that's right, or
Probably
even
Invicta.
Invicta. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is it. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. So
Yeah.
that one I knew about. So Invicta, since they split from the UFC, right, and now they're not on UFC Fight Pass, they were bought
Mm-hmm.
by Anthem, who also owns Impact Wrestling, right, up in Canada, right? So all of Invicta cards are essentially on Invicta's YouTube page. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where I found out about Shauna Bannon. Yeah, no, Shauna Bannon is one bad hombre or
Okay.
hombres. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's exactly it. Was the last Invicta card on YouTube, and you can check that out. But I mean, she came in pretty heralded. I think she comes from SVG Ireland with Cannavale and Owen Roddy, and Connor's camp essentially. So yeah, I knew
Yeah.
about Shauna Bannon. Um, yeah, I pick her. Now, was it like I don't know, like a poetry in motion, in terms of her fluidity and everything like that? There's still holes that could be filled, that could be spackled in her
Mm-hmm.
game. But I think at this juncture of her career, she's
Mm-hmm.
exactly where she needs to be. And again, all of the Irish fighters, right after post Connor, right. Um, and kind of side note, this is kind of why what I want for the LGBTQ plus community, right? Where one person gets in and basically galvanizes the support of the entire community, and now the whole community is in it, not just having one transgender fighter, one like Amanda Nunes, like
Mm-hmm.
criminally that they didn't promote her better. Joe Rogan said it, like the damn Endeavor offices are right there in Miracle Mile in Century City. Literally less than a mile away is West Hollywood, a
Mm-hmm.
haven for the LGBTQ plus community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't there fucking ticker tape parades? Why isn't her face and what she's accomplished with the two belts all over fucking town? It's only a
Yeah.
mile away, less than a mile away, if that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I want a 125 pound, male to female, transgender division. And it has to happen in the UFC. A female to male 125 and up
Mm-hmm.
and up and up and up and up and up and galvanize it instead of just like, oh well, you shit on Fallon Fox or the person that fought in Combate and whatever and wasn't the most elite level or whatever. No, no, no. So Connor got in.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's a whole wave of Irish, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let there be some champion of that community to
Mm-hmm.
to fight, and I mean on an elite level, right? That the UFC cannot deny them, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what happened with Ronda. Dana
Mm-hmm.
literally did this. I mean, right around the time my dad died, December of 2010, right? Got caught out of by TMZ outside of a fucking Beverly Hills restaurant. Hey, there's this chick in Strikeforce, Ronda Rousey. You're gonna sign her? There will never be women in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Literally
Mm-hmm.
less than 6 months later. And now there's four fucking divisions. And there should continue to be four. There needs to be every fucking male division. It should be female division. Let's have a fucking women's 265. Let's go. Fuck it. Everybody come get it. Elite
Mm-hmm.
level though.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I feel. So I feel pretty strongly about Shauna Bannon. I'm picking her. Nothing against her opponent, but
Bruna.
I've seen Shauna, and I see. We were talking about LA Knight, right? The last time we were together, right? And how
Mm-hmm.
great
Mm-hmm.
it is. And one of the things about LA Knight is he's able to listen to the crowd, give the crowd what they want,
Mm-hmm.
versus what the fuck he can turn on a dime. Shauna
Mm-hmm.
Bannon can do that because the fucking people didn't know what the fuck to think of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people started cheering for her and whatever, and she was able to fucking channel that into what she needed to do to take the victory that night in Invicta. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Shauna Bannon fan. Let's go, Shauna Bannon.
Yeah, she's undefeated. We usually don't pick against undefeated. But I'm gonna second you on that one, man. No problem. I think her last few fights have been won by decision.
Right.
So she knows how to win. And I think she'll pull that off again by split decision this time as well.
Yeah, and again, she's not the definitive product of what she's going to become,
Hmm.
but I mean, from Invicta to now the UFC,
Hmm.
you know, she's there was enough in that Invicta performance that basically got her ticket punched to the UFC Octagon. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. So even though she's not the final product, she's something.
Nah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So taking us into the 155-pound division, lightweight division, the men's division, Chris Duncan. I believe he's from Scotland. The problem, yeah, he's from Scotland. Chris Duncan will be taking on Yanal Ashmuz. Ashmuz is Israeli. Yeah, he's Israeli. Israeli. Uh, he's currently undefeated. He had one grappling amateur grappling match which he lost, but he's been on a winning streak since. About 7 fight win streak. Yeah, 7 fight win streak. He's been in KNO. He's been in Ring of Combat, CFFC, PFL. Uh, he was on the Edwards versus Usman 3 card, in which he won by counter left and finished on the ground in the first round, beating Sam Patterson. And he's doing well for himself. Now he's facing a problem, Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan, a go-getter. He's a go-getter. He's been in there with Ricardo Souza, Jonathan Carlo. He's been in there with Charlie Campbell. These people, we don't quite know who they are, but he's winning. Bottom line, he's winning. He did lose one to Vyacheslav Borshevchev. He lost to that fella, but that's the only blemish on his record. He's looking pretty good. He knows how to win. A lot of first round knockouts, second round and third round knockouts. So he carries power throughout the fight. And now he's going against an undefeated fighter. He is a taller man. Um, he's got about an inch on his opponent. Yanal. Whew. This is going to be a very good fight. I strongly believe. We have number 88 in Chris Duncan versus Yanal Ashmols, number 92. I'm going with Chris Duncan on this one, even though Yanal is undefeated. I'm going with Chris Duncan just by his experience, man. 10 fights to 7 fights is it's a whole lot. And Duncan has been in, he's fought in the UFC already. He knows what the bright light's all about. He came in through the Contender Series. Now he's doing his thing. Uh, he's already won in the UFC. Now he's trying to win again. Okay. Yanal, actually, I believe Yanal also. Yeah, Yanal has also had a fight in the UFC. But technically, Duncan, he fought in this Contender. That's a UFC product. And they both actually fought on the Usman and Edwards 3 card, and they both won on their debut. So now we're going to see who's better. What say you, sir?
And which one did the PFL CFFC?
Believe that's Janal.
Yeah, so I'm going with them
Yeah,
because
Janal.
I like, when people ask like, oh man, how do I get to the UFC, whatever, like there's no set path, right? We've seen guys and girls that were ready years before they got to the UFC, and by the time they were at the UFC, the best days were numbered, right? But I like the
Mm-hmm.
traditional take, right? CFFC, right, for the East Coast and Midwest is very much what promotions like Lights Out or Up Next or CXF or
Mm-hmm.
like those promotions where they usher in and have UFC quality fights on a regional scene, right? Been
Yes.
fighting for PFL, right? This is somebody that the PFL does their homework. A lot of people will say, "Well, I don't watch PFL because I don't know the names," right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the scouting that the PFL management and matchmakers do, because every time the tournament happens, man, like if you watch the tournament, I don't care if you understand the point system and round robin, all that bullshit. No, they got fucking great fights. They probably, and not just great fights, but one missed opportunity that I think the PFL has, and I was just checking on it the other day. They have the best fight kits in combat sports, bar none. Bar none. They look like professionals. It shit looks like, NFL training gear, whatever,
Yeah.
with their names on the fucking ass. Like that. I mean, PFL is missing an opportunity to fucking sell that to the public. Oh, you want your fucking, almost like John Cena, right? Oh, LA
Yeah.
Dodger shit. Cool. Blue and white, and then we fucking have your name on his ass. Like, do that, right? Every scene, every town that Cena came in before he adopted the word life fucking gimmick, right? What did he do? He just wore the fucking gear or the color gear of the town that
Would
he was
like.
in. That was even before that. You remember?
Yeah. I remember that. The
He wore
jersey.
Lakers gear in LA, Denver gear in Denver, like, you know, and the
Yeah.
ruthless aggression with Kurt Angle. That's Cena. So that's it. But yeah, so that guy, basically doing both, like to taking a bit of the traditional route to get to the UFC. I dig it. That's why I'm picking them because PFL, CFFC, those are, to me, are top tier promotions that basically put on UFC caliber fights.
And by the way, Chris Duncan has a couple of fights in Bellator as well, though. Just
Yeah,
so
see,
yeah. So
love it.
they're both. They're
Masvidal before he became Masvidal, right?
yeah.
Bellator, fucking, Kimbo
Showtime.
Slice fights.
I mean, Strike Force. Strike Force.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, so that's I think it's definitely worthy of a 50-50 split. So you go Yanal and I'll go Chris Duncan on that one.
Yeah, 100%.
So in the next match in the bantamweight division, we have Caitlin Vieira versus Pani Kianzad. Kianzad
Yeah,
is 15-6. Remember, you
Ian
know these
Zad,
two.
yeah.
And
Ultimate
they're both
Fighter
5-6.
alumnus.
Yeah, they're both 5-6 too. So Banzai is the Iranian girl's name. She's coming off a win over Lena Landsberg, but previously she lost to Raquel Pennington. She beat Alexis Davis. She beat Sarge Eubank. She beat Bess Correa. She beat Jessica Rose Clark, and previously she lost to Julia Avila. We remember that fight.
Raging Panda. Shout out to Raging
Yeah.
Panda.
Oh yeah.
Old training partner, that one. Threw me fucking clear across the damn room at Matt
Yeah.
Baker's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in fucking Bakersfield. Like, fucking, yeah, I go flying at the feet of my wife. Jesus Christ.
Pani Kianzad with a 5-3 record in UFC, not bad, man, not bad. She's ahead of the curve right now. But Caitlin Vieira, phenomenal. One thing we know about phenomenal is she brings the heat. And another thing is, phenomenal just lost to Raquel Pennington in the last fight, UFC Fight Night. She lost by split decision. She beat Holly Holm. She beat Misha Tate before that. She lost to Yana Santos.
Yeah.
Yana Santos. She beat the Sarge, so that's one person they have in common. They both lost to Raquel Pennington, but they both beat the Sarge Eubanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is gonna be very strange. It's gonna be very strange. I foresee clinching. I foresee clinching from Caitlin Vieira, since she's better at winning by submission. So she's gonna want to close that distance. Her opponent is a decent striker. She's a decent. Kianzad is a decent striker.
Yeah.
She's not wow. She doesn't wow, but she's a decent striker and she knows how to win. Lots of fights won by unanimous decision. That means all judges agreed on her winning the fight. She puts things together really well. She puts her fight combination, not hand combination, but how to defeat an opponent. She puts that together very well. She is a complete mixed martial artist, pretty much what I'm trying to say. So, what say you on this one, though?
So easy, and nothing against Penny, but I got Caitlin Vieira, and
Mm-hmm.
here's why. We just came off of the Holly Holm, arguably the last main event of Holly Holm's illustrious, legendary career, right? But
Mm-hmm.
Holly Holm basically did what Holly Holm does, right? And unfortunately, she had the brakes beat off of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Penny is kind of that, but not to the acclaim and the um, experience, right? Holly Holm coming in, was a disciple of Mike Winklejohn, at Jackson Wink. Like a lot of people, Greg Jackson, when they come out of that gym, Holly Holm, from the time she was a teenager, was a Mike Winklejohn prospect,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but again, the game has so far, evolved past that style, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Penny, and she's got an incredible story. I believe she told it on the Ultimate Fighter, but her and her family are from the Middle East, right?
Iran. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Iran, and they
Mm-hmm.
migrated to Canada, and they're Team Canada all the way. Um, I mean, just a phenomenal story, and she's a highly intelligent person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, um, regardless, whether I mean this might be Penny's last fight in the UFC, right? Because there isn't much there, in terms of adapting to the current state of the evolution of martial arts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she might feel great in the gym and out pointing, but in the gym out pointing the
Mm-hmm.
young boxer, being able to hang or what have you. But like she just has never had that kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Vieira has that fucking kill
She's got
switch.
power. She's got
Yeah, and
power.
look at the names that she's defeated thus
Mm-hmm.
far, right? And that Raquel Pennington, I don't count as a lot because Raquel Pennington in both situation, in Ketlin as well as Patty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rocky knows that it's her one last shot to bantamweight glory, right? She
Mm-hmm.
herself was an Ultimate Fighter alumnus, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how she got in with I mean, her now, wife in Tisha Torres, Tiny Tornado, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if Patty was on the same season, but that was the Misha Tate, Ronda Rousey season. One of the most highest rated seasons, or at least most watched. I mean, most battlehued. That rivalry between not Holly Holm, but Misha Tate and Ronda Rousey that played out so well for the cameras, right? If you're into that sort of thing. So again, Caitlin Vieira, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she's already fought for the title, hasn't she?
Caitlin Vieira.
Yeah. If she
This,
hasn't,
I don't
she's
think so.
she, she's making her campaign for sure. Almost
Yeah.
a la Rocky Pennington status, right? So with
Yeah.
that all being said, go for it.
She hasn't fought for the title yet.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to change that. And
Mm-hmm.
like her campaign, if it hasn't already started, it starts Saturday night
Mm-hmm.
with a win over Penny Kianzad. You can't
Yeah.
just go to decision where there's every division is rife with talent, up
That's
and
right.
down.
That's
So,
right.
and the talent is getting better every day,
Yeah.
every fight night. So, yeah.
And especially because the titles are vacant right now. Everyone has to show out. If she wants to be noticed, she has to go out there and show out so she can be recognized, become a contender for that title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So
Yeah,
Caitlin,
it's
you pick Caitlin Vieira, I'll pick Caitlin Vieira as well. No problem.
Hell
I
yeah.
see a rationale there. Yeah.
Hell yes. And shout out to Rogue Strummer. Well, shit, man. If it isn't my two bangers breaking it down, hell yes. Shout out to Rogue Strummer.
What's up,
Mario
man?
Yamasaki's for you. That's a good brother. Okay, so what we got next?
So we're moving on to the 185-pound division, which is the middleweight division. We got Brian Barberino moving up from welterweight to go get some. With the big dogs, Mahmoud Muradov is the guy that he's going to be fighting, who's got a fighting record of 25-8. He's born in Tajikistan. Is currently fighting out of the Czech Republic Monsters Gym. Lots of knockouts for this fella, but he's currently lost to Kyle Baraujo. He lost to Mirchard by rear naked choke. But previously,
Okay,
he beat Andrew Sanchez, flying knee. He beat Trevor Smith. You know Trevor Smith, right?
right.
Hot
Isn't
sauce.
that Buster Rhymes' real name?
Yeah.
Put your hands where my eyes can see. Really want to party with me?
Hey, he beat Trevor Smith with an overhand right back in UFC on ESPN 7 back in 2019. He beat
Jesus Christ.
Alessio Di Chirico. He beat Wendell Oliveira back in 2019 in Octagon 13, and so many more. He's got a pretty good record. But when it came to the big leagues, you know what I mean? He's only got one win in the UFC. Actually, he's got 3 wins in the UFC. I take that back. My apologies. 3 wins in the UFC and 2 losses. And when the going started getting tough, he started losing. And that's
Yeah.
just the bottom line. This division is not for the birds, man. These guys are killers in this division. Now he's gonna be going in there against Bam Bam Barberino, man. Barberino, you know him, man. He likes to throw hands. You know, if he's not knocking you out, then he's trying to just damage you as much as he can while he's damaging himself. He recently lost to Gunny Nelson by armbar in the first round. And before that, he lost by a rear naked choke to Rafael Dos Anjos. He beat Robbie Lawler by KO in the second round. He beat Matt Brown by split decision. He beat Darian Weeks by unanimous decision. He lost to Jason Witt by majority. You know, he's a Barberino is one of those dudes where you fight him, you just got to be ready to kill, because he's ready to kill you. You know, that's the way it is. But going back to Mahmoud, it seems Mahmoud, he's got the power. He's got the power in his hands. It seems these two gentlemen would not be going to the ground. I think they're just gonna bang it out. They're gonna bang it out and try and make a name for themselves. I see a potential for 50 G's in this particular fight, man. I
Yeah.
strongly see potential for 50 G's.
No, so I mean, before we get into that, I gotta highlight Rogue Strummer. He's at there winning also. I'd say 65%, but also it could be a robbery upset. I feel that too.
Yeah.
And we're on the same wavelength. I feel right because this is. I mean, took the words right out of my brain. Right.
Mhm.
If it goes to a decision, Bam Bam could win it on volume. If Muradov, I can't take him down. I'm picking Muradov to murk him though, but that's a
Yes, me
vanilla
too.
take on my part. I don't think it's
Yeah.
vanilla. I think that's
Mhm.
pretty accurate, right?
Yes.
And you know, this is that Chuck Liddell, like, well, I'm just gonna knock him out, right? And Pat Barry and fucking Derek Lewis, right? Like that deal, right? Well, guess what? Over in Shelbyville, when you're all living in fucking Springfield, there's a you that's better than you, that got more power than you, fucking, like that's it, like, oh, Midwestern, wrestlers here in the US, right? Well, they got fucking Dagestani, Russian Federation motherfuckers that are doing that, Muay
Mhm.
Thai. Like, I'm just saying, and nothing. I mean, I'm American, you're American, like America, fuck yeah, right over. But to say that we're doing it all right,
And
you
and,
know,
and
and
the
this,
thing is, Mahmoud, his weakness is actually the ground. So I don't think he's going to be looking for the ground at all. But
no,
he's
he's
too
not. But that's a
if
yeah, and that's what he's saying. Muradov can't take him down, right?
yeah,
So he's gonna
yeah,
want to keep that shit standing, right?
yeah, let's
And
go.
so what does Muradov have? Takedown defense. You gotta, if you got two things, power, KO power, and takedown defense. If you're in that fucking weight division, that'll at least get you into the fucking top 15.
Yes, yes. And we're talking about
Where
fight of the night type candidates right here
yeah,
when these two
absolutely.
meet each other. Most
And
definitely.
also, you know, so you mentioned Jared Mishart, right? In
Yes,
Muradov, right?
yes.
So do you remember the assessment or the internal assessment of Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt?
Yeah. Do you know the internal assessment of it?
Nah.
People don't want to work with him, right? Not because he's not a talent, not because whatever. But what do you get, right? What do you get by working with him? Because he does hocus pocus shit, whatever, whatever. He has to win. So
Hmm.
you're in a fucking program that you're not going to win. Even if
Lose
you do win,
situation.
you're
Hmm.
stuck. You get no closer to the title, no closer to whatever. Like fucking LA Knight, our boy, right? Well, he had that fucking weird ass match with the fucking Mountain Dew shit and whatever the fuck. And they pretended like it didn't even fucking happen. And that's the best thing. He's the only person. Randy Orton couldn't do it. Fucking Seth Rollins couldn't do it. All these motherfuckers, whatever, could not do that. Gerald Mishart, in all due respect, is the fucking Bray Wyatt of the UFC. He's
Yes.
talented as fuck, but what do you really get, right? Because he's not close. He's a fucking grizzled young veteran, right? That's
Badass
got
grappler.
all the skills, right? But are you closer to the title? Like, are you closer to that 50 G's by fighting GM3? And again,
Mm,
nothing. I'm a GM3 fan. They might be friends with him on one of the socials, man. So,
mm.
but, not talking shit at all. But also, we got to be real. What what do you get? You win, okay, you're no closer to the title. You lose, you lost to fucking Mishart, who can, you know, fuck you up
Yeah.
9 ways to Sunday. So it's there. But even still, I've still got Muradov.
Yep. Yep. I'm with you on that. I'm willing to go on the let the only thing that could be a problem for for the for this fella Mahmoud is cardio. One thing about Barbarino is he doesn't get tired.
He doesn't.
He
I
does
mean,
not get tired. So
we might, every time I see this division, and it might chart, but not whatever. But
mhm,
like a big motherfucker with like a KO power and shit like
mhm,
that, and then gassing out. The
mhm.
fucking image of fucking Dada 5000 fucking sputtering around before he collapses. That's what I think is
And
gonna happen.
Kimbo.
So Muradov is either gonna knock the fuck out of Bam Bam Barbarina, right? Or he's gonna sputter out like fucking Dada 5000.
But and another thing we got to take note of is Barbarino is actually moving up from welterweight
Yeah,
to middleweight. So though he will have much more cardio, he's going up against a much stronger guy, a natural middleweight. So
yeah,
I think things balance out there. Barbarino's cardio, Mahmoud's power. That these two things will cancel each other out, and then heart will be the rest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, this is even 50-50, but I feel pretty good about Muradov.
Me too, man. Moving on into the heavyweight division, we have Mick Parkin from Ireland, UK/Ireland, against Jamal Pogis. Pogis is 10-3, an American, 68th heavyweight in the world. He's known as the Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. He trains with Joe Stevenson's Cobra Kai. Uh,
R.I.P. Ryan Spink. R.I.P.
yeah,
Ryan Spink, head director of Cobra Kai. But
yeah.
also, just a side note,
hmm
just happened today or this morning. But Heather Standing, who was a great force within our combat sports community. She was the matchmaker for a lot of the Pacific Northwest fights, Submission Underground, Chael Sonnen's deal. Well, some of the
hmm
greatest grappling matches of the stars of past, present, and future UFC was match made by her, right? She unfortunately had been in the hospital for a, a couple weeks, definitely a couple weeks. She went home, and this is on her social media, as told by her mom. Had a crazy, crazy fever, and she just succumbed. So again, RIP, Ryan Spink, Sifu Ryan Spink. Anytime we talk about Cobra Kai, but Heather Stanley, the boss lady MMA,
hmm
had more than a few, great interactions with her. Just always supportive. Didn't take no shit from anyone. She would tell Chael what's what. Chael Sonnen, the American gangster. She told him what the fuck was up. So again, RIP. Our combat sports community have kind of been wounded recently by the passing of and transition of some incredible, indelible marks of our combat sports community, but we soldier on in your spirit. So, RP Ryan, RP Heather, thank you guys.
Most def. Most def. Yeah. So Jamal he won he won against Paula Renato Jr. in his contender series by unanimous decision. He won another unanimous decision against Josh Parisian, right? But
Rougeau?
Parisian, Josh
Oh,
Parisian. hmm
oh, man, that's a name
Yeah,
I haven't heard in
yeah,
forever.
Josh Parisian. And before that, he was in LFA. He won against Tim Hiley. He lost to Alex Polizzi. Uh, he previously tried for the contender series, which he won, but he wasn't brought in yet. When he won a second match against Paolo Renato, that's when they let him in. So he's doing pretty well for himself. Now, Mike Parkins, fighting out of England, very good boxer, it seems. Uh, he rear naked choked Eduardo Neves in the contender series. He beat Fatih Aktaz by KO in the second round. He beat Ashley
Wait,
Pollard. Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
did
yeah.
you say he beat Fuzzy Tatas?
Fatih Fatih Atka
Okay,
Akta Actus.
I I heard Fuzzy Tatas. I mean, ain't
He's
nothing
from
wrong with that.
Turkey. Some fella from Turkey. He doesn't have such a great record. He's 9-12. This fella, Fatih.
I've had a lot of tough turkey in my day.
Yeah, Fatih. He also
Yes.
fought Ashley Pollard. Beat that guy. Pretty much he's beating some unknown names. Bottom line,
So,
we don't know these fellas.
so you want
Uh,
to hear some hot takes from
yeah,
Road Strummer?
yeah. Go ahead.
That Hanato guy is terrible, and so is Parisian. One, and I don't like Vogues much, but I don't know how good Parkin is. And
yeah,
I feel that's right. I feel that's right.
Parkin seems. I mean, he's got a lot of fights by KO, but I think he's more the one of those dudes where he'll start off swinging hard. If he lands, great, but if he doesn't, then he'll clinch slash dirty box slash catch you slipping slash choke you out slash submission slash. He's like that slash type dude. I don't see him. Like, I think when he gets hit, I think he'll move on straight to grappling and straight to ground and pound until he smashes you. That's what he seems like to me, this fella. But we'll see what his opponents bring into the table. Mr. Pogues, Jamal Pogues. We'll see what he brings to the table. But as of right now, Parkins is 6-0 and Jamal is 10-3. So Jamal is you know, he's ranked in the world while the other guy's ranked in Ireland or UK or wherever he's from. He's number 3 in heavyweight in UK/Ireland, while Jamal is 68 in the world. So I think that means more than UK. But at the same time, we will see when they get in that cage what's really gonna go down. So what say you, Mr. Woods?
I think it's going to be Parkin.
Okay.
I don't know, because this is giving me Tom Aspinall vibes, right? You know, because
Mm-hmm.
he was ranked, you know, kind of in that UK whatever. And I remember one of us, you know, I can't remember if it was you or me, it could be me or whatever, but was looking like, oh, that same premise, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
world versus a particular region, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so look at him. He's found himself in a main event, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel the same way, you know. And with Pogues, with his skill set right now, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
he going? And I mean, you got fucking John Jones as the kingpin of heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real, right? We kind of know when people were heralding Johnny Walker to fuck up John Jones, right? When people were
Mm-hmm.
talking about fucking, you know, I mean, him himself as Gustafson
Mm-hmm.
telling Joe Rogan, "I know a way that I can beat John Jones. I have it," and got
Mm-hmm.
beat worse than the first time,
Yeah.
right? Got beat worse than a man. Like he had owed him fucking lunch money. Like it's like John Jones envisioned both of his fucking brothers that used to beat the shit out of him. It was like, okay, got you. And Gustafson was both of fucking Chandler and the other fucking Jones, and yeah, beat the brakes off of him, right? So let's be real. At his current skill set, wherever he is right now, do you see Jamal Pogues going up against John Jones and winning?
No.
Or even,
He,
I mean, winning, I think that's too much. Getting
I mean,
finished.
he
Getting
needs
finished in the first fucking round.
he needs a lot of time. He's number 68 in the world. He's got to make it to top 15 before we can even
Yeah,
put him.
like, right, exactly.
He's
So,
not even qualified to take an emergency fight right now.
right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, right? And you said emergency fight, right? Let's go back to fucking Joe Soto, right? Bad Mofo Joe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against TJ Dillashaw when Henan
Yeah.
Barrow couldn't make weight, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plucked from the fucking undercard, first fight of the night to a fucking championship fight, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Joe Soto at that particular instance was
Mm-hmm.
more skilled than both of these, Parkin and Bogues,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
I feel, and nothing against Pogues, but I feel there's a lot more that Parkin can build upon than
Mm-hmm.
Pogues, because Pogues like Jamal Hill and Kennedy Nunchukwu.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all the motherfuckers that Um, who's the other one that did the fucking catch the foot kick and kick the shit out of somebody?
Oh yeah.
The one that couldn't, he kept on trading gyms and shit like that.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm talking about. He's in PFL
My
now.
yeah. I forget his name.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You get too big for your britches.
Mm.
You think you're God's gift to MMA, and that's
Mm.
get a little bit of acclaim, and you're like, fuck it, I'll
I'm
be
in
in
the
a
UFC.
right. So I just Pogues, it's up to you to prove me wrong. And who am I?
Yes,
I fucking never fought in my life, right?
true, true.
Oh no, maybe not. No, it was a African gentleman, right? And
Yeah, I forget his name. Uh he fought Mansa Musa, that fella
because
Mansa Musa
because
that
he
talks a
fought
lot.
he fought Kennedy in Nchukwi, right? After Kennedy had, I mean, his last fight, he fucked somebody up in a spectacular fashion, and then Homeboy came in and fucking, did that catch the foot and fucking kick you in the
Back kick.
goddamn chin. Yeah,
He sent him
yeah,
packing
some
too after
ninja
that
shit.
one.
Yeah. So whoever that dude is, right? Like,
Yeah.
and again, sometimes you're the hammer, you're the nail. Some of these motherfuckers don't think they're ever going to be the nail, right? And you kind of have to be, right? You want to be the fucking alpha male, alpha female, whatever, in your gym, whatever, because you're in the goddamn UFC. I understand that, right? But when is self-confidence and hyperbole and complete and utter delusion? What's the line? What's the fucking line? Right? There's a fine line between love and hate and
Mhm.
delusion and fucking self-confidence. There's another goddamn line, right?
That's
And I
right.
feel like Pogues is smoking that hopium.
Oh shit.
I'm not, and again, it's up to Pogues to prove me wrong
That's
because
right.
we haven't seen the best Jamal Pogues,
Yeah.
right?
One thing we know, Parkins, he's got some grappling in him. So
Yes. And
when
again,
all else fails, he's gonna shoot that double.
and that's what you need to fight John Jones. Just like
Mhm.
Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes, every fight that she had, someday I'm gonna fight Ronda Rousey. Every goddamn fight she had. And she was fucking in whatever fucking Brazilian promotion she was pre UFC. She had her sights on, yes, her opponent, not to disrespect the opponent at hand, setting out
Mhm.
across the cage from her, but she was like, that, that. Okay? So with that all being said, not Pogues, but his opponent is looking at fucking John Jones and going, whatever. Wow, everybody's doing the fucking, what's homeboy's name? Fucking Sterling, right? You
Aljamain.
know, everybody's fucking, oh my god, whatever. Like, do the best shit ever. Throw your goddamn party after you won the fucking belt by technicality, right? All that shit is in
Taking
your goddamn
pictures.
head. All that shit is in the goddamn head. You don't train. It's the fucking Rocky shit. It's hard to fucking
Mm.
train when you got goddamn silk sheets. And that's probably
Mm.
not Rocky. That's probably Marvin Hagler.
Hagler.
Hagler, right?
Mhm.
But look at also Hagler, right? Man, war in
Mhm.
fucking goddamn Cambo boots, running through
Mhm.
fucking Boston and shit.
Yeah.
War, just fucking screaming that shit. Go back and look at some of that fucking footage,
In
right?
2-degree weather.
Right. And then face Sugar Ray, didn't get it. Said,
Mhm.
fuck this, I'm out.
Mhm.
Y'all had me. Fuck it. Didn't appreciate me. I'm the fuck
Yeah,
out.
that's right.
Right? So again, that deal, right? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, right? It's Pogues that. And I hate to fucking like whatever, but that's the way that I gotta, as a fight fan, as a like a pseudo historian of all things, pugilistics. Like
Mhm.
I feel that, right? And I feel like Parkin is better suited. Like if he's not ready for John Jones, I feel more
Mhm.
confident that he will be ready for John Jones or whoever. assumes the throne, that person doesn't exist unless John Jones fucks up. But even
Yeah.
John Jones fucking up has fucked up a lot of your favorite fucking fighters. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
So Parkin for the win. Don't care how he gets it done. I feel like he's gonna thwart every campaign to victory that Pogues has. That's
And
that's the bottom line.
in addition, the the UK folks usually, more than likely, they have good boxing because boxing
Yes,
is one of their greatest attributes
yes,
over there. So I think he will be dominant when it comes to the striking as well.
I
But
agree.
if things get crazy, I know he has no problem taking that double and taking him to the ground and doing what he has to do. Then
Facts.
Jamal is susceptible to submission. He's lost by submission before, ankle lock or some
Right.
sort. So yeah, heel hook. So um, I'm sure Parkins has studied this, and he's got a plan. So I'm also gonna go with Parkins, brother.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So in the next division, the 155-pound division, we have Mark Duquessis or whatever this dude's
Yeah.
name is. The Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher stands 5'10". In his last match to Michael Johnson, he lost. Michael Johnson's got great hands, so he wasn't able to, get close. He beat Damir Adzovic by unanimous decision. He beat Vyacheslav Moshevchev by unanimous decition. He lost. He
I
lost to
heard
Rafael.
violent fart Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Violent fart Swiss cheese. No disrespect, whatever. Maybe it's my dyslexia, but I heard violent fart Swiss cheese. His
he lost.
homeboy's name.
He lost to Rafael Alves by guillotine choke in the first round. He also lost to Rafael Fizaev, which was a beautiful matchup between the
Yeah.
two. But before that, he beat Lando Vaneta. He beat Joe Duffy, and
Okay.
yeah, he's been in the UFC for a while. He's a household name now, and he's doing his best trying to stay in the UFC and further his career in 2023. But Joe Alvarez, El Fenomeno from Spain. This guy, he just lost to Armin Tsarukyan. That's the dude from Glendale, right?
Yeah,
Armin
Glendon
Tsarukyan.
Fight Club. Yeah.
Yeah. He lost by ground and pound in the second round. Before that, he beat Thiago Moises, spinning elbow. Before that, he beat Alexander Yakovlev, armbar. He beat Joe Duffy as well, one person they have in common, by guillotine. He beat Danielo Belardo by ground and pound. So this guy is just a heavy grappler. So it's a fight between a grappler and a striker. Now the question that needs to be answered is will the Bone Crusher, will he be able to stay on his feet? This is the question that must be answered. If he can stay on his feet, then he can piece up his opponent and take him apart, pick him apart. But if Joe get a hand on him and take him to the ground, he's going to steal most of the round on the ground.
Yeah.
And Mark will not be able to get his game plan on. He won't be able to get those hands off, and things will just be a little difficult if he goes to the ground. It won't be easy for him to get back up. And I see this as a path to him losing this match. Actually, the grappling. I think that this fella Joe Alvarez is very, very dominant when it comes to grappling, because most of his wins come by submission, and I think this is going to be a problem. Mark the Kessie, he's going to have to just clean knock him out,
Yeah.
or sprawl and brawl,
Yeah.
Can he do that? That's a question.
I don't know. Shout out to Israel Blacklist, Stupid Fresh, Man Woods, Full Effect. We here. That's what
What's
we're
up,
doing.
boy? What up? What up?
So
What up?
Salizia gets there. Yeah, I got the second one. Unfortunately, who's that? Who's that dude? The Brazilian motherfucker. And I'm not saying that the motherfucker Brazil. Brazil is awesome, right? But who's the one that like? Oh, he's gonna be the one. Whatever, whatever. Moicano, right?
Oh, right.
Gonna be the one. He's gonna be the
Mm-hmm.
one. Gonna be the
Mm-hmm.
one. And every time he fucking gets to like, not even like the fucking stealing the damn fucking bald eagle egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the mission: steal the fucking bald eagle egg, right? Motherfucking climbs on the wrap, touches the fucking nest, and falls the fuck down,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
Moicano's starting to get it together, but like, really, he should have been champion 5 years ago if he had put it together, right? And I
Yeah.
feel the same about Mark Ducassi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ducassi, like, playing him on the fucking video game with the, red mohawk. I mean, he's found a way to market himself. There's
Yes.
no doubt about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't, like, he's been outclassed by people that might not have the curb appeal that Ducasse has, right?
Mm.
But you focus on too much of the curb appeal, you lose some of you lose a little bit of the steak when you
Yeah.
add more of the sizzle, right? He
Mm-hmm.
hasn't found balance, right? So I'm going for the Spanish El Phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
I think again, when you're looking at brass tacks, right? What is
Mm-hmm.
this for? Do we want perennial journeymen and women that aren't going to do fuck all? Or do we want people that are going to essentially make their campaign towards a title, towards the
Mm-hmm.
big money payday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ducasse, unfortunately, I do not believe he's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
would if you unlock, unleash him to the regional scene, maybe
Mm-hmm.
he wins. Maybe he gets fucking, tested by somebody who's a little bit more hungrier than he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen examples of that. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard for me in 2023. I I like the concept of Mark Ducasse,
Mm-hmm.
but concept versus reality is very fucking different.
Mm. And furthermore, Joel is higher in the world ranking than Ducassi. Joel is 21 and Ducassi is 48. And Ducassi has been in the UFC a whole lot longer. So
Yeah.
Joel must be doing something right.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
must be doing something right.
And
You know.
it ain't even about fucking time served, right? You ain't paid by the hour. You're not paid by
Mm.
the match. And Mark Ducasse, right? Like, they were talking about the whoever the sponsor is, right? Venom, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Venom payouts for the Holly Holm, card and everything like that. And I mean, Holly Holm, right? In the main event, just took $11,000 more than her guaranteed fight purse, right?
Mm.
For time served. And that might seem a lot to somebody that's eating fucking bologna sandwiches on ham, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about the training, think about everything, all the expenses, right? It's not a lot. And Ducasse is in that Holly Holm range of the total amount of under the Zuffa Endeavor, whatever brand, in terms of how many fights that they've had per their per their appearances, right? It hasn't it hasn't manifested in the way that it's supposed to. If it's trying to be big money fights and title shots, right? What big
Mm-hmm.
money fight do you want to see Mark Ducasse in? Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone? Bueller does. It's not in 2023. It ain't happened, And I think Joe Sparks, Joe Sparks him on the feet like he did Thiago Moises. There you go. And hurts him and throws furious of punches. I agreed. So I unfortunately I love the concept of Mark Duquesne.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll probably play him on my UFC 4 or soon to be forthcoming UFC 5 video game, right?
Yeah.
And then pick somebody else.
Sorry, Mark Ducasse.
Yeah, man.
We have chosen Joe Alvarez. So in the next welterweight division, we have Danny Roberts from Britain versus Johnny Parsons. Johnny Parsons from the west side of the United States. This guy is the Sluggernaut. Okay, from Syndicate MMA.
That's
Las
good.
Vegas, Nevada. Okay. He's 5'9", born in 1991. All right. Okay. Currently on a 5-fight win streak, though. He's just coming off the Contender Series and where he beat Solomon Renfro. He beat Solomon Renfro by split decision. But before that, he was at Icon Fight Federation.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Icon. I love Icon. That along with Lux, bro. Like everyone ever. Check out Icon Fight. Check out Lux. That is literally like with this, and obviously LFA, right? This is the reason why I still have my UFC Fight Pass. There's some good fucking fights. The way it's professionally shot. The belts look better than the UFC because again, my metric, I'm a belt mark, right? So again, if you're a champion, right, and you invite people over to the house, right, and they don't know what the fuck you do, right, and some fucking asshole, what's that over there? That big shiny girl thing, whatever, right? It's like, well, it's a championship. I fucking won. Well, it looks beautiful. I know. I fought blood, sweat, and tears for that goddamn belt. Okay, that's exactly it. So Icon as well as Lux, they have those type of belts that are prestigious. They look great around the champion's waist, the way it's presented. Shout out to both of them. Again, one of the reasons why I still have UFC Fight Pass. And the Black Belch, Anthony Aguilera. What's good, Woods and crew? Man, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, Professor. Black Belch. Black Belch. That's a good brother right there. And I'm fucking pro wrestling diehard is Anthony Aguilera. So just saying. Yeah, that dude's always having super fights. So, yeah, I mean, if he comes to your town, you better go to that damn fight. I'm just saying. What we got? So,
one thing I spotted on Johnny Parsons' record back in 2015, he fought Shoney Carter and knocked him out in 34 seconds.
Ooh.
At Golden Fights, Shoney Carter, man, the pimp.
That dude just accepted my friend Facebook request.
Yeah.
There's some motherfucking things I want to ask that dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So hot chocolate, Danny Roberts. He's 6'1", so he's got reach advantage. He's got height advantage. Lots of KO in his record, but he recently lost to Jack Del Magdalena. I'm not mad.
No, that Della Magdalena, again, 2 years from now, if not sooner, Della Magdalena is in a fucking title contender. No, for real.
Not a lie, bro. Not a lie at all. And before that, he lost to Francisco Trinaldo. That dude's just
not bad.
Monster.
Have you seen fucking Francisco Trinaldo? The motherfucker replaced the hole that fucking Yoel Romero left in the UFC on either genetics, which I'm like, how are we the same fucking person? He looks like a myostatin inhibited cow. Them big fucking yoked ass cow that you can't get meat off of because there ain't no fat on them. That's a fucking Francisco Trinaldo at 85. Looks like, goddamn.
On all the Mexican supplements,
Yeah, or I honestly don't believe Yoel is on that shit. I mean, they might have put that shit in his water when he was, fucking judoing in Cuba or whatever the fuck. But like, I think he's natural now.
Yeah, back when he was 5, they spiked his juice.
Yeah. So
So, Mr. Parson is gonna be going in there against Mr. Battles.
okay.
I don't really have a dog in this particular race, man. Danny Roberts, 18-7. Johnny Parson, 8-3. The only thing about Parson is, he's number 3 welterweight in the United States, while Danny Roberts is 53 in the world. That holds
So
more weight to
so
me.
who's the one that fought Shoni Carter?
Johnny Parson,
Yeah.
the slugger
I'm not
nigger.
picking him. Because if you've been in the fucking game since fucking Shoni Carter in
Yeah.
2015,
Yeah.
right? And you're not a title contender, you're fucking sniffing around your cup of coffee in the fucking big time, like the Macho Man Randy Savage said, "Oh yeah, brother." Like, then what are we doing? You're no closer to the title. You're no closer. Like, you're just filling a spot, right?
Mhm.
You're a prize fighter, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also, you got to fucking form a sentence when you're 45, if you're not
Mm,
45 already, right?
mm.
So I'm just saying, for your life, quality of life, and longevity outside
Yeah.
of the octagon,
Yeah.
and I don't have you, bro.
Yeah, this fella's he's 31 years old, slugger not.
31, but fucking fought. What were you, 12 fighting Shoni Carter?
Fight Night of Syndicate MMA, Las
Okay,
Vegas.
that's why. Roxanne Modafferi, fucking like go, man. Some of the who's of MMA is out there in Syndicate.
Mm.
That whole Las Vegas shit, right? Whether it's Extreme Couture or Syndicate or Vandalay Silva's gym, whatever the fuck, they got some bad motherfuckers out there. But
Hey,
again, if
but
you're
but
fighting
but what?
fucking Shoni Carter in 2015 when you're 12 and barely 31 now, maybe my math ain't right, but fuck it, I don't care. Um, I'm just saying, Shoni Carter, Shoni Carter will still whoop the fuck out of me. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. You'll fucking leg whip me and then fucking kick me in the head. The spinning back kick off of my goddamn ear. It's fucking Shoni Carter. Don't care. Old Shoni
Yeah.
Carter, new Shoni Carter, 20 years ago, Shoni Carter is still goddamn Shoni Carter. Now, if you done lost some fucking brain cells, bro, since 2015. And everybody that you fought since 2015. So I got the other guy.
Yeah, yeah. The Danny Roberts, he's very balanced. He's got what 8 wins by KO, 5 by submission, 5 by decision. So he's a balanced mixed martial artist. He has lost to the big names. Del Maldalena, Trinaldo, Michelle Pereira, Claudio Silva, Nordine Talib, Mike Perry. These are known names. So he's taking
those, are,
he's
those,
taking big fights.
those are no names, right?
Those are known
But how
names.
many
Yeah.
of which are still on the UFC roster? Riddle me
True.
that, Batman.
True.
Riddle me that.
True. Yes, you're right. You're right. But Jack Del Magdalena is his last match in 2022, not too long ago, and he lost in the first round by knockout. But
He's still, he's
who's
still in
Johnny
there.
Pearson fought? Who's Johnny Pearson fought though? Who's he fought? Solomon Renfro. Who's that guy? Ricardo Chavez. Who's that guy? Juan
We've
Romero.
talked about
Rano
Solomon
Medina.
Renfro.
Who's
I
that
feel like
guy? I mean, compared to who the other guys fought,
yeah, but
names
again,
that
you
pop out at you,
yeah, but you're fucking losing brain cells every goddamn fight
and
of all them
battle
motherfuckers.
tested, battle tested,
Battle tested until you fucking drain damaged. So I'm just saying, just, I'm picking the motherfucker that didn't fight Shoni Cardi. Jesus, that's all I got. That's all
All
I got to
right.
say about that.
So Danny Roberts is the guy that didn't fight Shoni Carter. So you going Danny Roberts?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Okay, I'm not mad at you for that, man. I'm not
And
mad
so
at
he
you for
can party with Jake the Snake Roberts, his uncle. Fuck
and
yes.
he's got more experience. You know, he's
Yeah,
fought stiffer competition. I mean, 18-7 compared to 8-3, and he's worldwide ranked. So
yeah,
I'm also going with Danny Roberts on this one, man.
yeah.
So we'll move on into
But,
the bantamweight
well,
division.
speaking
Yeah.
of competitions,
Hmm.
Anthony Aguilera's got a Bakersfield super fight in August.
Oh,
Let's, yeah,
let's
I'm
go.
sure it's on his socials and whatever. I'm gonna retweet and all that jazz. Bakersfield, I know that.
What's
You know,
what's your weight class, Anthony Aguilera? What's your weight class?
yeah, good, good question. But I mean,
Yeah.
super fights aren't they absolutes? Can you,
They still have to stick to weight classes, right?
I don't know. I'm still on the fucking what is it, quintet? When
Uh, uh, uh,
fucking who the fuck fought somebody like 100 pounds heavier than them and got their leg fucked up? Was that Cub Swanson? I feel like that was Cub Swanson.
oh yeah, yeah, it was Cub. He got his
Yeah,
leg ripped off. Yeah,
yeah,
got his
fighting
leg.
somebody he ain't got no goddamn business even
No
rolling with.
business.
Yeah,
No
so
business.
yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roach Drummer says I got no pick on Robert. Right. Good luck though, 100%.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Anthony Aguilera coming in at 260.
That's what's up. That's what's
Big
up.
meaty man
Heavyweight.
slapping meat, black
Let's
belch.
go. Let's go. Go get your black belt.
And I mean, you know, most black belt shit ain't entertaining, right? You know, Anthony Aguilera is that new
Yeah.
school of entertaining. You know, he was raised on the fucking, you know, traditional shit, but also, you know, peppering in with the EBIs and the fucking, you know, not Dana White slap league, but you know, combat jujitsu and stuff like
Yes.
that. So
That's what it
he's that new school black belt. They don't fucking you ain't you trying to coast on points. No, he's trying to get them fucking that paper. He's trying to
trying to beat
get them.
somebody's ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
unceremoniously turn into a fucking pretzel and put some
Yeah.
salt on it. Lick your
Yeah.
goddamn wounds and be gone. That's what Anthony Aguilera is doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're moving into the bantamweight division, 135. We have Davy Grant of Britain, ranked number 19, versus Daniel Marcos, 14-0, ranked number 68. Daniel Marcos. Why is Soncora is his nickname? Uh, Coming out of Peru, San Miguel, Lima, Peru. Los Perros Sarnosos fight team. Uh, he's fought in the UFC before, knee to the body in the second round, beating Simon Oliveira. He came in through the contender series, putting hands on Brandon Lewis, unanimous decision. Before that, he was with 300 Sparta, 36, 300 Sparta, 30. So 300 Sparta has been his home for quite some time, since as far back
Right.
as 2015. So one thing we know about this fella is he's loyal. He's loyal. Even going back into his amateur career, he fought in the 300 Sparta. So from 300 Sparta, he goes into the contender series. He won his first fight in the UFC back in January, and now he's fighting Davy Grant. Davy
Mhm.
Grant.
Let's step up
Dan-
in competition.
yes, dangerous Davy Grant, right? Dangerous Davy Grant is a complete fighter inside out. He put hands on Rafael Sunsao, inverted triangle choke in the third round. Luis Smolka, whom we know very well, ground and pound in the third
Yep.
round. He did lose to Adrian Yanez. I remember this fight. He got toe tag, split decision. He did lose to Marlon Chito Vera, unanimous decision. I remember that fight as well. Jonathan Martinez, overhand left, took him out. Jonathan Martinez is Bart Simpson, right? Yeah, Bart Simpson.
Yeah,
Remember the guy who looks like
yeah,
Bart?
absolutely.
Yeah,
He looks
yeah,
like one of the goddamn Simpson
yeah.
things.
Prior to that, he beat Martin Day, left hook. So this is
Okay.
an established veteran. It's an
Yeah.
established veteran. He does have issues with pure wrestlers. I'm talking Manny Bermudez type fellas. You know, he lost
Right.
to that guy, but uh, and excellent boxers. He has issues with excellent boxers and excellent wrestlers. But Daniel Marcos, I'm not sure if Daniel Marcos is bringing that kind of wrestling to the table. You know,
Mhm.
when I look at his record, I see striking finishes. So this is gonna be a very very good competition. Uh, are we talking about fight of the night candidate? It could be. It could be. I
Right.
foresee a whole lot of striking in this particular matchup. So it's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to this match. But Mr. Grant is my pick because he is an established fighter. He's been in
Yeah.
the UFC for some time and he's faced very, very good competition. He's currently on a 2-fight win streak. I think he's going 3, man. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. I got David Grant. And again, all the shit that I just said about like not being a top tier fighter, or uh, making your campaign for the belt of your division. But David Grant has kind of figured it out. Been in there with some of the who's,
Mhm.
um, and just enjoys fighting. So maybe he becomes like the immortal Matt Brown, or these guys that just fucking just stay there. Clay Guida is another one.
Mhm.
Just stay
Mhm.
there until their fucking contract runs out, and they go, float over to a new horizon.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
definitely could be fight of the night, 100%. And I've got Marcos winning. Okay, that's
Not
cool.
mad.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all.
Not mad. Not mad. Yeah, Marcos. He is undefeated.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at that pick at all, man.
Nope.
He's been undefeated since 2015, back in the amateurs.
Yeah.
He let me see, 2, 4, 6 fights as an amateur in 1 year, and then he moved on into his professional career where he's remained undefeated. 300 Sparta, Inca FC, but primarily 300 Sparta. He's fought for Taita
Yeah.
FC 7, but the majority, 90% of where he's fought, 93% has been 300 Sparta. Contender Series, UFC, on the Glover Teixeira and versus Hill card, UFC 283, and now he's facing dangerous Davy Grant, you know. But I'm going Davy Grant just on
Yeah.
experience alone.
On general premise. Yeah, I agree.
So
Again, nothing wrong with Marcos.
no, nothing at all. He's definitely worth your pick, Rogue. Most definitely, he's earned your respect. He's earned all our respect. But I don't know him, though. He's
Yeah.
unblemished. He's unblemished. But I'm betting more on Davy Grant's experience
Yeah.
with high caliber fighters. Yeah. So moving on to the opening of the main card, we have none other than Leron Murphy, 12-0, just versus Josh Kulibao, 11-1.
Kuya. I got Kuya.
Mhm. Kulibao. Kuya. This fella is fighting out of Australia, fighting affiliated with the Igor MMA Academy. He's very good fighter, this guy. I
It's
remember
that
him.
big ass belt on its Tapology page, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive, man. He in February he beat Melsik Bagdazarian by rear
Yeah.
naked choke in the second round. He put hands on Song Woo Choi. Song Woo Choi, remember Song Woo Choi?
Yes.
Yeah, the Sting. He put hands on him
Told
by
you I
split
got Kuya.
decision. Yeah, by split decision. He beat Shailan Bekek, unanimous decision. He lost to Jalen Turner. It's very tough to fight a big 6'5",
Yeah.
155 pounder. So
One half of
fast.
the greatest fight I ever fucking saw. Him and
You know
Richard
what I'm
Leroy.
saying?
Damn,
Yeah, Mr.
best believe.
Leroy. Oh yeah.
And on this
But
very channel, if you guys don't know, we got to speak with a returning Mr. Richard Leroy, one
yeah,
half of the greatest damn fight either of us have ever seen.
yeah,
So we happen to be there live. So go ahead and check that out in the archive.
yes. And the impressive thing about uh Kulibao
Cool.
is he's been in the UFC since 2020, 2020. And
Right.
he lost his opening match, but he's put it together ever since. You know, he's doing good work. He can go the distance of 15 minutes. He can finish, and he's got hands. He throws those hands. You know, he knows how to win. Now, Laurent, on the other hand, uh, I the miracle. I remember this cat. He's also got great boxing. So I am going on a limb and letting you know this is another opportunity for fight of the night.
I
Somebody's
agree.
getting paid in this matchup because they're gonna go at it. They're going to go at it. This guy has been fighting since 2014. Uh, uh, he's been going the distance since 2015. He's been knocking suckers out since way back then too. He made his way into the UFC back in 2019, where it was a split decision where he beat Zubira Turkogov. Remember that
Yeah.
guy? That dude. Yeah. He also put hands on Ricardo Ramos. He put hands on Douglas Silva de
Yeah.
Andrade. Yeah. He beat Mark Juan Americani
Yeah.
from
Yeah. Mr. Finland.
yeah. And then split decision with Gabriel Santos, who
Yeah.
was also
So
undefeated.
in the instance of Kulibao, right?
Hmm.
Losing his first fight in the promotion, but then rebounding to where he's at now. I think it was
Hmm.
the great, I guess, modern philosopher Miley Cyrus that said, "Hands up, playing my song, butterflies fly away,
Hmm.
moving my hips like yeah." That is what Kulibao did, right? He got all the fucking butterflies out that first one, whatever,
Hmm.
and manifested all of that experience and the loss to where he's at now. That's why I got fucking Kulibao.
Hmm. You know, Laurent Murphy is unblemished. Number 18 in the featherweight division, while Koulibaly is 27. Um, Koulibaly, phenomenal striker. I love watching them fight. Laurent Murphy, phenomenal striker. Because they're
Yeah,
both coming from that phenomenal cloth, I'll go 50-50 with you on this one. And I'll go Laurent Murphy. Uh, he's no pushover. Neither is Josh.
right.
And they both deserve that 50 split. So and I think this is going to be a strong candidate for fight of the night. This
Damn
one.
right. I agree.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Moving on in the next 155-pound division, lightweights, we have Jai Herbert, 12-4, versus Faris Ziam of France, 13-4. 12-4, 13-4. Smile killer. This fella's coming to wipe the smile off your face. 6'1", born in France. Fighting out of the Kill Cliff FC.
Yep,
He
that's
won
Henry
his
Hoofs.
yeah, yeah.
Henry
He won
Hoofs.
yeah, yeah. He won his last match against Michael Figlak with a unanimous decision. But prior to that, he lost to Terrence McKinney. He got stung and then got caught in the rear naked choke. I
Yeah,
remember that fight. He beat Luigi Vendramini. He beat Jamie Malarkey. He lost to Don Madge by unanimous decision. But, he's been doing pretty well. He lost his opener in the UFC back in 2019 in the Khabib versus Poirier card, UFC 242.
Right.
But then, he's been doing pretty good until he got caught up against Terrence McKinney.
Okay.
But, he put himself back on a win streak. Now, when we go back and we look at Jai Herbert, the Black Country Banger from West Midlands, England, fighting out of a Team Renegade BJJ. He's currently on a 1-5 win streak. He beat Kyle Nelson by unanimous decision. He got knocked out by Eli Tupuria. I'm not mad. Tupuria is a savage.
Yes.
He beat Karma Worthy back in 2001. He KO'd that fella in round 1.
Mm-hmm.
He lost to Renato Moicano in the second round by rear naked choke. Trinaldo overhand left and knocked his block off.
Yeah.
Back in 2020. But he's been doing pretty well before that. His Cage Warrior experience has been, it yielded gold for him. So he's been to Bama. He's been to Bama. Full contact contenders. Not bad at all for this young man. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight. I'm torn. I think this is worthy of a 50-50 split.
Yeah, I think it's his coming out party for sure.
Yeah. So who do you pick for this one? I'll pick the other, no problem.
Yes, same.
Who you got?
The same one you picked.
I didn't pick yet for this.
Oh
one.
wait.
So is Jai Herbert or Fares?
A Black Country Ranger? Okay, so I'm going with the Black Country Ranger because I like the Black Country Communion, a super group made by Glenn Hughes of Deep Purple, Derek Sherinian of Dream Theater, the virtuoso that is Joe Bonamassa, and behind the kit is Jason Bonham. Bonham sound familiar? Yeah, Bonzo from fucking Led Zeppelin. His kid is playing in Black Country, right? So that is the what is it? The legacy of the people from the Midlands in England, right? The Black Country, right? Good people, fucking hard ass people. They worked in farming and ironworking and all that shit. So Jai Herbert, man, that's who I got because he represents that.
I'm with you, but it's worthy of a 50-50 split.
It is. So it is worthy.
I'll pick the other fella.
Not karma worthy, but worthy.
I'll pick Ziam.
Okay, I like it.
This one. Yeah, it's worthy of 50-50. And their record are quite similar. 12-4, 13-4, Yeah. So in the next matchup at the 185-pound division, those are middleweights, right? Yeah. So we have Paul Craig, the light heavyweight, coming down to 185 to say hello to Andre Muniz. Muniz, we last Sergi Pano. We last saw this fella when he got in there with Brandon Allen back in February.
All in. Yep.
Yeah, and he got caught up in the third round and got choked out. But yeah, I believe he was the one that retired Uriah Hall back in 2022. He toe tagged Eric Enders in the first round by Humbar. Yeah, by Humbar. He was scheduled to fight Duplessis, but the fight was canceled. He beat Ronaldo Souza, inverted armbar in the first round. Bart Farbinski by armbar. Antonio Arroyo decision. Taylor Johnson rear naked choke in the Contender Series back in 2019. Dana White's Contender Series, he beat another fella by Bruno Assis. So he went back to back in the Contender Series. He was in a word WOCS. He's putting in some work. It's safe to say he's putting in some work, and he's fought some top of the line type fellas. but then he's fighting the Bear Jew. The Bear Jew's dropping weight and going down to
Yeah.
185. So
Yeah.
that already is a strike against him, because he's going to be a without brain water. There'll
Right.
be less brain water. Let's just call it that. He's coming off a loss to Johnny Walker. Right cross to Hammer Fist, put his ass out in the first round. He's done some grappling. He lost to Jed Hugh by a steamer lock. He beat Sam Sweeney by rear naked choke. But his last MMA match was Volkan Ozdemir. He lost by unanimous decision. He couldn't finish Ozdemir. He couldn't take him to the ground and keep him there and submit him. But he did beat Nikita Krylov by triangle choke. He beat Jamal Heel. He broke his arm back in 2021.
Right.
Yeah. Mauricio Hua, he tapped him out. And, he's seen some action. He's seen some good action. Been in the UFC since 2016.
16, yeah.
Yeah, he wins some, lose some, win some, lose some.
Yeah.
So now he's getting desperate. He's getting desperate. He's on a 2-fight losing streak
Right.
currently. And, he drops weight to go down to the welterweight division. Hopefully he can be bigger and pick on some dudes down there. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Andre Muniz is the guy that he's going to be picking on, because he's also a fantastic grappler who happens to be a great striker. So
Yeah.
one thing about Paul Craig is he's very, very good grappler, but Andre's jiu-jitsu is quite phenomenal, and his stand-up is quite nice as well. So we have number 11 in Paul Craig going up against number 14, Andre Muniz. I think I got Muniz, man.
Okay.
Like,
So, really, some quick hits, right? So, Paul Craig has already started wrestling, doing professional wrestling. I think he's got like 1 foot out the door, right?
Yeah.
He's either the current or former ICW champion over in the UK, right?
Okay.
So there's that. But Rogue basically says, I'll tell you guys right now, Muniz is going to ragdoll this dude. If you guys are thinking about picking Craig, right?
Yeah,
And
no.
Brendan Allen is super legit. I could be wrong though.
I mean, Brandon Allen is super legit. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, he's a bad dude. And for him to beat the Brazilian fella,
Yeah, I got Muniz.
I got Muniz as well, man. I got Muniz as well, because I vaguely remember that fight, and it was a war.
Right.
I mean, Muniz got caught. He got caught in the third round.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was being dominated. This fight was in the third round, and it was anyone's match until Brandon Allen did what he did. But the fact that Paul Craig is cutting an additional, what is that? How much? What, 185
15?
Yeah, is that an additional 15 pounds?
Right.
I mean, he cuts to make 205.
Right.
Now he's cutting more weight. He's gonna be so. The question is, how is he cutting a bunch of water, or is he dieting down and doing it the right way? We will find out when he steps into
come
the
fight time for sure.
We will find out when he steps to the octagon. After that round one, we'll see what he's got left. And I'm going with Andre. Either way, I'm going with Andre.
There it is. Same.
Yeah.
Fucking same, bro.
So in the featherweight division, we have Nathaniel Wood, 19-5, number 20 in the division, going up against Andre Touchy-Feely, 22-9, and they're right next to each other, 20-21 in the world. Andre Feely is he's 5'11", 33 years old, team alpha male. He's done his thing for quite some time. He prefers to stand and bang. His wrestling defense is very good. The last person he beat was Bill Algeo by split
Right.
decision.
Senior
He did,
perfecto.
yeah, he did lose to Joe Anderson Brito by KO. He did lose to Bryce Mitchell. That Bryce Mitchell wrestling, that good old country wrestling was on
Yeah.
point that day. I remember that fight. He beat Charles Jourdain by split decision. He lost to Sadiq Yusuf by unanimous decision. Shaman Morai, he beat him by right hook. Miles Jury, unanimous decision. He lost to Michael Johnson, split decision. So I mean, he's been in there with some heavy fellas. He's been there. Calvin Cater, another Dubo
Right.
Choi was canceled. Yair Rodriguez, Gabriel, but he's been in there with the who's of the division. Now he's stepping in there and he's facing Nathan Woods, the prospect, former champion in what do you call that? Cage Warrior, former Cage Warrior champion. Uh,
Mhm.
they've both beaten Charles Jourdain. Uh, he won by unanimous decision. Charles Rosa, he beat that fella. He lost to Casey Kenny. Casey Kenny is another badass wrestler.
Yeah,
I remember
yes.
that's that dude from LFA, right?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
one who fought Vince Cachero.
yeah.
He's the homeboys with Sean O'Malley.
Hmm.
Like his,
He put hand on John Castaneda though.
yeah, he
Uh,
did. Sexy
yeah,
Mexi.
he lost to John Dodson, left hook in the third round. He got caught up, but he beat Quinones, Jose Alberto Quinones. He beat Andre Ewell. Remember that fella? Jenner Eduardo. He beat that guy. Luca Levin and Cage Warriors won first round knockout. So he's been to UFC since he fought for Bellator as well. Fought for Bama.
Yeah,
Been to UFC since 2018. His fights are never boring, and he's in
yeah,
there against an individual that's going to complement him very well. And I like when it's like that. When
yeah.
matches, when they complement each other. I love to see that.
Alex Ramirez says Adam looks like he could use one of them Prime energy drinks right about now. Fuck
Yeah.
Prime. Fuck all the shit that the Logan Paul is doing. Don't want him in my wrestling. You know, he could take Takeshita. And when I say
hey,
Takeshita, means take a shit up. Is
hey, but
so yeah.
all bullshit aside, that
Adam's
Paul,
had a
that
couple of bongs. No, it's my allergies are fucking getting to me. That's what's going down. But yeah, I'm thinking not and Andre Touchy-Feely. I think the biggest thing in terms of pop culture that Touchy-Feely has done was when
uh-huh.
he got pissed off at one of his sponsors that they didn't,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
right? And he's like, "Here's the post, whatever," and then he fucking beats the shit out of whatever the fuck the product was or whatever. And like 1, 2, 3, and he fucks it up. But that's it, and you can pretty much. Oh, and yes, it is your birthday, McMac. Oh shit! Literally, me rejoicing over McMac's birthday
Hey
is
man,
it knocked everything
hey,
out off kilter. But shout out to
that
McMac.
dude, Mac, that dude ages every week, man. Every week it's a new birthday, man.
It's his
Yeah.
800,073rd, 22 3/4. You know, at sacrifice Samoa Joe, Senior Joe, uh, birthday. So shout out to McMac for that. It made my fucking phone go off kilter. But yeah, and basically copy and paste my feelings on Decassi
Hmm.
for Touchy Feely here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be technical. I do foresee a lot of technicality between the two. Um, um, if anyone initiates the shoot for the ground, I see both of them being really really having really, really good takedown defense. I see that. It's gonna go 15 minutes. I see that happening. I see 15 minutes between these two. I see a
Yeah.
split decision victory. Yeah.
Hopefully, it
So
doesn't fucking put me to
you
sleep.
said Nathan Woods.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I I I can split you on that. No problem. I'll go.
Really
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Because Philly, all he does is wrestle. So his
Yeah,
takedown defense is going to be on point.
I feel
And
like
when you look at it, he's 5'11", fighting a guy that's
yes.
5'9". So he's got reach advantage. Um, Nathaniel Woods got great boxing.
Yeah,
He's got
I
great
mean,
boxing.
so
Yeah.
talking about Feely, right? Having
Hmm.
great reach advantage is.
Hmm.
Do you remember that motherfucker? He looked like one of them skin talkers off of fucking Game of Thrones. Brock Weaver.
Yeah. I remember that
Okay, touchy feely here reminds me of Brock Weaver, right? And guess where Brock Weaver is? I don't fucking know where Brock Weaver is. The fact that touchy
guy.
feely is still here, it's just like
Hey,
what the fuck?
is it safe to say that Touchy Feely always brings the fight?
But where does he bring it? That's into the fucking shadow realm that puts you to fucking sleep?
He's
Then
willing to
maybe
go to the
that.
shadow. He's always willing to go to the shadow realm for sure. He's always willing to go. He's got decent boxing.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
decent though. I mean,
Mhm.
again, when you look at the top echelon, right? And
Yeah.
this is, his coach being Faber, right? Has wanted to rule the roost, right? How
Hmm.
many fucking rounds against fucking Dominic Cruz did they have, right? So you would think that he would avenge his coach's loss and fucking turn it on and win a bantamweight title for Alpha Male, right? Just like Cody
Hmm.
Garbrandt did. But I
Hmm.
don't think that's gonna happen.
Hmm.
I think Touchy Feely has both, not progressed
Hmm.
in terms of what he can do in the octagon, but
Hmm.
also like also peaked. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense, he's peaked.
I feel you.
He's peaked with not all of the stuff that he needed to get to peaking.
Hmm. And
That's
he's
what I feel.
33 years old. He's 33 years old right now.
Yeah, some of the 27-year-old fucking whatever coming out of LFA could replace touchy feely. And again, I'm not trying to be facetious or whatever. Everybody
Hmm.
that I've ever been around with in Team Alpha Male has been great. California Love, man, was pumping out of the Arco Arena with fucking Faber, man. So those are some of my favorite memories of
Yeah.
combat sports. So what Team Alpha Male has done for the combat sports realm at large, it's tremendous. But I don't. With that all being said, and all the gravitas, to it, and due respect, I don't think Touchy Feely gets it at all.
Hmm.
At all.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's it's that thing where it depends on where his mind is on that particular day. You know, he might hit a star like Mario, like
Right.
Super Mario. You know, when they hit that star and then they start taking care. Yeah. It depends on where his mind is. You know, I believe he's a father now, so things get tough once you start having children, especially when you haven't seen like ultimate success,
Yeah.
and then you start having children. It puts more pressure on you. So,
Right.
but at the same time, I want to give him his due respect. He has been in the uh, in the game in the UFC actually for some time now. So, I'll I've always been duly entertained when he fights. But at the same time, it is a very deep division. It's tough to get a win in
Yeah, that's
the
the other
featherweight.
thing.
That's the featherweight division, bro. It's tough. It's tough to get a win
Yeah,
in featherweight division. You know. There's killers, man. Too many
Yeah,
killers. You know. But we'll go 50-50 on that. And Nathan Wood is a fantastic pick.
yeah.
You know, he's
There you go.
disciplined. I like
He,
his discipline.
he's Wood. I'm Woods. Feel like his people might have owned my people somehow, somewhere.
Yeah. So you know where we're at right now, right?
We are at the co-main events of the evening.
That's right, man. This one right here is in a 125-pound division where we have Molly McCann taking on Julia Stoliarenko.
Yeah.
Julia Stoliarenko is 10-7, number 14 in the division. She stands 5'7", 30 years old, fighter house, fighting out of Lithuania. She seems to be of a karate type situation. Actually, that's jujitsu, not karate, jujitsu. Whew. She's lost to Chelsea Chandler in the first round, ground and pound.
Oh, the one that fucking ran away from her opponent?
Yes.
Yeah.
She lost to that one.
Fuck good. Meatball Molly all the way.
She
Fuck
lost to
it.
that one. She lost to that one. But surprisingly, she beat Jessica Rose Clark by armbar in the first round.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she lost to Alexa Davis, unanimous decision. So she went to distance. She lost to Julia Avila, rear naked choke in the third round. She lost to Yana Kunitskaya.
Well, now it's Yana Santos because she's married to
Yana Santos,
the Hammer Moreta or whatever the fuck.
But she had a phenomenal career before that, where she put together 6-fight win streak, and one of those fight was a Lethwei fight in which she fought Yukiko Yuga. It was a doctor stoppage in which in the first round she broke the opponent's nose so bad that they had to stop the fight. You know, the nose was in 36 seconds. So bad that they had to stop. So it must have been one of these right here. And another thing in Lithuania, you know, that's illegal. You can headbutt a sucker to oblivion in Lithuania. So, you know. But now she's in here against Molly McCann. And the first thing that she's gonna go for is a takedown. Because Molly's a boxer. All she knows, all she does is boxing. In her last match, she lost by Kimura to Erin Blanchfield. Remember Erin Blanchfield? Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded Blanchfield. She's working her way up to a title contention right now.
Yeah. And I think she's trying to do it before Patty. She's riding the Patty wave, and I'm not saying that they aren't close or whatever, right? But she's being very judicious in her time in the spotlight, right? Because she might be a better fighter at this particular juncture than Patty Pimblett is, but Patty garners the headlines, right? So you ride that fucking gravy train like a motherfucker, right? I'm not mad at it.
She better not get taken down. She better not get taken down.
I mean, subjective, right? Still like I mean, she's not an elite level ground fighter, is she?
But it seems she's better than Molly McCann.
Okay, yeah, better. I mean, that's just saying fucking bananas are yellower than fucking apples.
Yeah.
I guess, right? Like, you know, and you don't need it, you know.
Shit. Bananas are more yellow than plantains.
Yeah, exactly. It's more fucking hearty than spaghetti. I don't, you know, whatever. And Voodoo is too blue. I like it. But yeah, I mean, I got Meatball Molly. There's gonna be something that fucks up. They've because she's right. It's gonna be interesting, right? Because Patty Pimblett is somebody that they've kind of what do you call it? Reformed, right, into
Mhm,
their image, right, like a
mhm,
Connor surrogate, right?
mhm,
So with that all being said, like
mhm.
they could be bringing Julia in as a tin can, right? Just
Could
like
be.
O'Malley has had him or whatever, whatever. I don't
Mhm,
believe that to be true. I think Stoliarenko, again, there's a lot of times we both picked her in previous fights.
mhm.
She's good. She's fucking good. But
You know
I
what's crazy? You know what's
what is
crazy?
what?
Molly's been in the UFC since 2018, but
Yeah,
we
but
didn't
it
find
wasn't
out
until
about her since till until that your boy got
she
there.
was on. I feel like she was on an Ultimate Fighter with like.
She she came in from Cage Warriors and she
Okay,
got in
that's
there
it.
with Julianne
Yeah,
Robertson and she got rear naked choked in the second round. But
I
then
just
she went
remember.
on a 4-5 win streak, a 3-5 win streak.
Yeah, I just remember somebody going like, "Who the fuck is this meatball lady?" And I was like, "I don't know, but let's see how this shit fucking flushes out, you know." So, but yeah, dude, I've got meatball Molly, you know, and apparently Kramer loves plantains. Ryback
Yeah.
rules. Ryback is a fuckhead, but I don't know who I like less, Ryback or fucking Devin Hannibal Nicholson.
I like
Yeah,
Ryback, man. I like that dude.
you
Feed me
do.
more, bro. Feed me more, man. I
Oh man,
really I thoroughly enjoyed that gimmick.
Ryback versus Goldberg is money. I mean, I don't know what fucking money exists to have that match happen, but
Right.
it's not gonna be worth it for sure.
Ryback versus Goldberg is a bunch of people walking out of the arena. They
Yeah,
both cannot. They cannot lead.
how to
Neither
not
one of them
sell
can lead.
out Wembley Stadium for All Out, right?
Mhm.
This book, you know, book Goldberg versus Ryback in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Oh man.
Both of them fucking 3 minutes in, their tongues hanging out like long red neckties. So I don't know, but yeah, I got Meatball Molly.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not mad at you. She
Yeah,
does have very, 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 very good boxing, and if
there she
she's able
does.
to, if she's able to stay on her feet, she'll be able to do some serious damage to the opponent, who is primarily a grappler. So
Yeah,
um, I'm not mad at the Meatball Holly pick at all, not at all.
there you go.
Mhm.
So we are at the main event of the evening,
That's
brought
right.
to you by Rhino Dick Pills.
Mhm.
Rhino Dick Pills. If your dick is not rhino like, get your Rhino Dick Pills. You'll be glad to thank us later. And now, the main event. Who we got?
Well, we have what's that fella's name again?
Mar-
Tiberius.
Marcin Tybura, Tybura against
Marcin
Tom
Tybura,
Aspinall.
24-7, ranked number 12 in the UFC. In the world, actually. Ranked number 12 in the world. Former champion somewhere. Uh, it's safe to say Tiberius is a complete fighter, as he's accumulated 8 knockouts, 7 submissions, and 9 decisions. He lost 3 decisions and 4 by knockout. He's recently put hands on Blagoy Ivanov by unanimous decision. He put hands on Alexander Romanov majority decision
Yeah,
during UFC 278, Usman versus Edwards 2. He was scheduled to fight Jorginho, but it didn't work out. He lost to Alexander Volkov, unanimous decision. Couldn't deal with that reach. But he put tips on Walt Harris, ground and pound. I remember they took him down and it was over with.
right.
He beat your boy Greg Hardy, ground and pound, took his ass down too, and
My
it was
boy
over
Greg
with.
Hardy.
You
Fucking
know what I'm
Greg Hardy
saying?
can fuck off.
Yeah. He went the distance with Ben Rothwell in 2020. That's impressive. To go the distance with Ben is impressive. Maxim Grisham, he went to distance with that guy too.
Yeah.
Sergey Spivak, decision with that guy. He
Uh-huh.
lost to Sakai. He got knocked out. He lost to Abdurakhimov. He got knocked out. He beat Stefan Struve by unanimous decision. He got knocked the fuck out by Derek Lewis in the third round. Fabricio Verdum unanimous decision victory over him,
Uh-huh.
and he beat Andrei Arlovsky. He beat Luis Henrique. He and he came from M1. He's been in M1 his whole professional career. So he's a M1 champion.
Right. I
Yeah,
won global.
he's an M1 challenge champion. He's been doing his thing there. And one thing that I like about this guy is he's not one of those dudes that bounces around. He's got loyalty. He's a loyal individual. He's been loyal to M1 Challenge, and he's now being loyal to the UFC, and he's getting rewarded for it. Now he faces Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's from England, born
Yep.
in England, fights out of Liverpool, England.
Yep. The pool that
Liverpool,
your liver has.
Liverpool. The last fight he was in was against Curtis Blade, in which he mangled his own knee.
It's not
Uh,
here nor there.
yeah, but prior to that, he beat Alexander Volkov, straight arm lock. He beat Sergey Spivak, elbows, while grounding and pounding him. He violently took Andrei Arlovsky down to the ground, smashing him against the fence and rear naked choking him. He beat Alan Bodot, ground and pound.
Right?
He beat Jake Collier, right cross, knocking his ass out. He beat Michael Ben Hamuda back in
Right.
Cage Warriors, knocked his ass out. A whole lot of first round knockouts. As he's very, very talented with movement. He's blessed with light feet. He's light on his
Right.
feet. He's got great hands. He moves like a karate fighter, but he's boxing you. So, I think it's going to be a tough match for Tiberius. Tiberius, though, is a
Same.
complete fighter. I don't feel
Same.
Marcin Tiberius is a very because he's heavy. He steps heavy. He's ready for the shot, so he has to be grounded. He
Right.
doesn't move as well as Tom Aspinall, and Tom Aspinall seems to be stronger to me. Though Tom Aspinall is 12-3 and Tiberius is 24-7, I don't feel Tiberius will be able to get close enough to get a clinch and take down Tom Aspinall. I
Right.
think Tom Aspinall would dispose of this fella no later than a third round.
Okay. Yeah. And before we go, Ryback versus Goldberg is money. He said he will break merch records, and he wants a I Quit match. Now, if Goldberg ended up buying a record, right,
Yeah.
and writing merch on that record and breaking it in half, that's the only
Yeah.
way they're fucking breaking a merch record there. Just saying. But I mean, I've got fucking Aspinall, man. Aspinall has shined even in losses, right? Every time that he stepped foot in the octagon, he's somebody that if you're watching pre-pandemic,
Yes.
you probably wouldn't know about, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
he's a force to be reckoned with. And going back to
Yes.
like the fighting the what is it the champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Aspinall has a lot of attributes that if you were to face the champion within the near future, I would say the next 14 months, like
Mm-hmm.
he's there. He's
Right
there.
now, he is the best challenger for John Jones in the
Yeah,
heavyweight division.
absolutely.
You know, because
Absolutely.
just because of his footwork, he's got excellent movement.
Yeah,
He will give John a hard time. John will be forced to close the distance, put him on the fence, try and use those slicing elbows, take him to the ground, and keep him on the ground using those slicing elbows.
sure.
Those side kicks to the knee will be there. You know, I mean, we know this guy's got a bad knee, so guess what? We're gonna kick that knee out. It's a
Yep.
fight.
He
I'm
can
not here
kick
to be
your,
your
in the
friend.
words, the immortal words of Owen Hart. And that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg. RP Owen.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. So I got
Aspinall's it for me,
I got
bro.
Aspinall, man. Me too. I got Aspinall as
Yeah.
well.
And what fence? It's the cage fence, my good sir. And
Yes,
I've got
sir.
the runs. Well, I gotta literally work in 2 hours or get ready
Yeah.
for work. But thank you guys for joining us. Uh, as I knock everything over. But where can people find you on the socials?
Definitely look me up on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook page, Twitter, Voodoo Maximus, all day, every day, inside out. You know how we do it.
Yes, and it's so fucking hot right now. I wish I could go back to his mouth spitting water all over me. Wait,
Hey,
it's so hot
you
right
must
now.
be
I
in
wish
Vegas.
Triple H were here so he can watch, so I can watch him spit in my. Oh wait, see, I'm getting dyslexic. It's so hot right now. I wish Triple H were here right now so I could watch his mouth spitting water all over me. I mean,
You must be in Vegas.
I've LOL your shirt. Oh yes, there's Triple H. Shout out to the good brother Craig Claiborne who blessed me with this. This is vintage SmackDown, WWE SmackDown. Shut your mouth. That's the
Yeah,
official fucking T-shirt.
shut your
So
mouth.
there you go. But speaking of things to check out, I'm According to Woods. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, as well as Twitter for the Principal Podcast, clipping up stuff for you. There's stuff with Ashley Evans Smith and recently, Richard Leroy, a bunch of
Mhm.
stuff on both the Voodoo in the Woods and According to Woods podcast pages. Also, if you want dumb shit, I'm your hookup. Holla if you hear me. According to Woods on all the socials, including threads, where I disseminate some of the stupidity of humankind for your enjoyment. I hope you enjoy it. But thank you guys for joining us here. You guys rock uh, with your cocks out or not. If you cocks out, if you got them, and if you don't got them, whatever you got, come with it. So again,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome. This has been Voodoo in the Woods, and we are out.
Share, share.